Whatever.
Hey Playmates! So season 2 has brought us a new story, new heroes, and new headaches. And there's plenty of other people talking about the headaches, so let's skip it and talk about the Exos heroes in a different light and see how the game likes to portray their nations and their heroes. So today's topic is just going to focus on our 5-star fated heroes, so our top of the top heroes without their fate cores. I mean, there's a huge, and I mean pretty huge, disparity between like the popular fated heroes and the non-popular ones. And with season 2 now live, there seems to be a total of 28 fated heroes to collect. So let's review the statistics and demographics first and see what the world looks like painted through the eyes of these fated heroes. So there's going to be some light spoilers, so keep that in mind. When it comes to gender with the fated heroes, there's actually surprisingly an equal number of male versus female, which is different than what I expected. There's 14 males and 14 females. However, there is a difference between the age of the males and females. Like, the average age for the male heroes is 35, while for females, it's 23, so a bit of a difference there. The oldest male is Baelish at 58, oldest male is Emma at 38, 20 years difference, and the youngest males are Raquel and Ramj being 19, and the youngest female is Chanti at 13. 2 of our heroes are in their 50s, 4 in their 30s, 3 in their 30s, 12 in their 20s, and 7 in their sweet teens, with the average age of a fated hero then coming at 29 years old. All these heroes belong into 8 different nations now, and in alphabetical order, these nations are Bron, Estor's Republic, Greenland, Linombre, Marinos Island, North Van Frosty, Saint West, and Wasted Red. Saint West and Bron are the powerhouses that has the most fated heroes, with North Van Frosty and Estor's Republic falling close behind. Linombre surprisingly only has Rudley representing them, which is surprising because this is the nation that initially united the 7 kingdoms together through the Zembenster PVT thing that I still can't pronounce. So Saint West and Estor's Republic has the best racial representation, it looks like, with a total of 3 different races being represented by them. Estor's Republic with the Dragon Clan, dwarves and humans, and Saint West with the dwarves, humans, and the undead. Regardless, it does seem like humans are the majority in most nations and the Exos world in general, except for Greenland, where elves seems to have made their homes. Saint West and Bron seems to have the older heroes as residents, while the younger heroes seem to hang out mostly in the Estor's Republic and Greenland. Humans also are seeing a higher male to female ratio, so there's more males than females, while females seem to be more spread out in terms of whether they're human elves or dwarves. So capturing this information and the heroes' backstories, we can paint a picture of Exos heroes in a different couple ways through the eyes of these 5-star, high-tier fated heroes. So nobility and hierarchy is pretty clearly shown in the movie, and not the movie, the game, and actively present in Exos. Estor's is the only republic. And this can be backed up by the fact that the fated heroes, or 5-star, the top of the tier heroes, are predominantly from noble birth or a high-ranking official within their respective regions. It's also noteworthy to see that it's probably hard to rise up the ranks and your birth decides where you'll stay, as in the case with Garth, as he's known to be a very good success story of someone of low birth rising to the ranks of a general. This concept does seem to be a little more relaxed within the hierarchy of the nobilities themselves, like Baraka, who was able to give up his kingship to his younger brother to pursue his own goals, Raquel, who's more favored by his father than his older brother, whom King John had through Queen Carrie, or Redley achieving high ranks due to his skills, even though he is not the first son but the 3rd son. With nobility, there's also slaves and servants, and human trafficking seems to be a real deal in Exos as well. Barnabas is a prime example of human trafficking when he was sold to Carrie because he is a thing, like he looks good. So he was sold off because he was a handsome little boy. And it seems like some races like dwarves and ogres are generally inferior other races and tend to be more of the poorer side, it seems like. Versus like humans who are the majority In general, it seems like age also doesn't matter much in EXOs. Like Chanti, for example, is only 13 and able to join the army. Bernadette and Maggie were both geniuses and active in their research at very young ages, like 10 or something like that. Residents of EXOs also seem to have their kids pretty early. So Baelish gave Emma to King John around when Emma was about 18, and Emma would have had Raquel when she was 19. Shifrakin had Valentina when he was just 23. So with all this in mind, I'm going to make a pretty bad assumption here about EXO's heroes, and that is that because these fated heroes are all from nobility and rich, we are expected to pay high premiums for them, and that really sucks.
Whatever.
Well, that seems to be how EXO's heroes is painted through these stories, from the eyes and stories and backgrounds of these top-tier fated heroes. I might be different with the legendaries and rare heroes that are kind of within the game as well. So if you're interested, let me know and I can look through their stories and see what I can develop. Maybe there is a huge disparity between like races and their hierarchy based on their actual ranking in game. Well, once again, thanks for sticking around and tuning in. I post the videos every Wednesday and weekends regarding different types of games, so please consider subscribing if you're into that kind of stuff, and check out the content and share your ideas and comments with me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on Saturday. Take care.